JoJo, the jutsu trickery of Naruto, and the alchemic reactions of FMA so fascinating to watch and so fun to speculate about. And while I personally disagree,
What's fun to speculate with the jutsu trickery in Naruto? You're not explaining yourself.
I think
You're
he's just talking about
it.
My Hero there. I mean, not My Hero, but Full Metal.
Okay, sure, I guess.
While I personally disagree, I can see why the relative lack of them led some shonen fans to label Hiroaka's fights as boring early on. Fortunately,
people suck. Because if it was the same fights with stupid pretty animation, they would have clapped.
there are plenty of other heroes at the Academy to pick up the slack, and the series'
Best
premise
opening.
allows for an essentially infinite range of wacky, incredibly specific superpowers, from
Pause.
making things wait.
But we do almost nothing with them.
Nothing.
We've seen that meat dude exactly 1.5 times, and he is out of here. Big
That-
Fist Girl?
That when dude came back 1.5 more times after this,
Gone.
and be gone with ye, sir.
We have
You shan't be
interesting...
used anymore.
There's interesting stuff, and nothing is being done with it.
These people coming to work every day. Hey, you got something for me? Flip paper. Nope. You can go home.
Hey, we're rocking. It's kind of slow. You can head on home.
I only been here for 20 minutes. Yeah, I know, but...
Yeah, but the numbers. Deku's out there making all the sandwiches. We can't. There's no sandwiches for you to make.
I mean, I can go to a different position. Yeah, nah, we're full up. Why don't you just take it on me? Like, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's people just calling in. The store is short staffed, and people are calling in like, "Hey, I want to work." Yeah, but I don't need you.
We don't want you to work, though.
I can work though. I don't need it though. Bye.
Yeah.
By touching your fingers together, to sending and receiving sound waves through biological earphone jacks, to having hair made of super sticky grape balls, to sweating nitroglycerin. There's a lot of powers I've never seen before here. And whenever the characters who have those powers get their time in the spotlight, the show has a lot of fun putting them to creative use. Even the more conventional superpowers usually come with an interesting twist, like how Ida's super speed is limited by the heat capacity of the exhaust pipes in his legs, or Kaminari's lightning has the side effect of frying his brain at higher voltages. Those limitations force these characters to think outside the box a bit.
Lies. Kaminari just gets stronger.
Yeah.
Lies.
Kaminari's problem is not a problem until he fixes it. Because we've seen another lightning dude that does not have the problem, so that we know that it can be diverted, but he simply has not found a way, and once he does, it's just a lightning ability.
The series from rehashing ideas that Western comics have already done to death. As a result, the series is at its best, at least action-wise, during big events like tests, tournament arcs, battle royales, and massive villain attacks, where every hero has a chance to play their part and square off against an evenly matched opponent or two. It gets even.
What did Uraraka do in that?
Big nothing.
Oh, he said every though.
What it mean to do? Big nothing.
But he said every. Every is a quantifiable thing. So as soon as we figure out one person, it has a hole in it. Mm-hmm. And this is what it is.
Oh, Jiro. To this day, I got nothing.
Please stop using this flowery language like this.
And these all-encompassing terms.
Yes, I hate absolutes like this.
Also, whenever you get matched up two people of roughly equal power, why wouldn't it be interesting? Regardless of this hero stuff stands out and blah, blah, blah when they get matched up. Of course.
Better when allies are able to mix and match their abilities synergistically.
When was the last time this happened? This fight is great for reasons like this, and then when after?
I'm thinking in terms of where they were in the manga, because you can't. Yeah, the little class 1A versus 2B that happened in the
Dude,
manga.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Oh no!
Right
Don't say it.
That has left my mind to an almost unbelievable degree.
Me too.
If you were to name me, if you were to say, hey, what were 3 of the teams? I would draw a blank. A or B.
I remember Ida doing something that I liked, but I don't remember what it was. Same thing with Shadow Dude. I don't remember what it was, but I have this feeling of he did something that made me go, hey. Oh, and I remember Bakugo just going.
Of course, Bakugo, you can stop that. I remember Bakugo, I remember Deku, and I remember Mind Control Dude.
I do not remember the Deku thing. I remember Deku having a fight with the Mind Control Dude, but
that's
I don't
when
remember.
Black Whips come out.
I don't remember how it ended. Is that how it ended?
No, Uraraka touches him.
Sure, whatever. You could be lying.
You know what? I could be misremembering that thing. How did I play it?
I personally don't care.
Yeah, I guess I don't either.
Conversely, when heroes are forced to work with others whose powers don't complement their own, that can put some interesting hurdles in their way. Of course, most of the heroes in
Pause! Could you please explain anything you're talking about? It's not like there was a hot dude and an ice dude and like we gotta work together. And you're just encompassing everything. It's great when people work together and their powers complement each other, but it's also great when people work together and their powers don't complement each other.
But it's also great when they have one-on-one fights when they're evenly matched. But it's also great when it's a giant battle and we get to showcase their powers.
And it's also great when there's an underdog and it's the hero and they come out on top. Dude, this is nothing.
These are a lot of words.
My goodness.
These are a lot of
Whose powers don't complement each other?
I mean, anybody.
Ayama and Shadow Dude? But since his light, once light hits him, the shadow...
No, because he could grab him by the waist and just like 360 all around spin that.
And it's not like it even happened in the show.
I mean, if you were to give me any 2 people, I could probably pick something.
Dang, man, this is terrible. I'm sick of crap like this.
Now, of course, you're going to be limited with something like Tail Dude and Speaking of Animals Dude. Because both of their powers are weak to begin with. But if you were to give me roughly 2 people, I could probably come up with a combo move or 2 for them.
That's terrible.
Academia are students, naturally enough, which means that they're only just beginning to learn how to use their quirks. And that conceit allows the series...
No, they're not. Froppy's had her quirk for all of her life. What is she learning?
Bakugo got his at like age 5 or 6.
When they had that big when they were in the mountains and like everybody's in these woods training and crap like that, what did Froppy learn? She learned like a camouflage move, but that was it.
Hey, why isn't there an elementary school for quirk people that develop their ability? Like even an after school program.
Who's to say there isn't?
But this is my problem, because you got something like Bakugo, and his power is destructive. So if he gets mad at some kid, kids are temperamental. So if he gets mad at some kid for pushing him down or something, or bumping into him, it could, but bloom.
I could see something like that for, like, you have a power that is a problem. Uraraka should don't touch your hands and you'll be fine. Just wear mittens at night and you'll be cool. But somebody like Mirio, you
will die. You could die.
You will die. We need to have an after. I could see them doing that. It's never been explained. It's never been showcased. But I could see it. But then if they did, why are there villains? Because you would think that they'd be like, oh, these people. We can't say that because Endeavor trained his son. Both of his sons.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't even say that unless he actively withheld them, in which case we need to talk about, hey, what is Child Protective Services doing? Anything
but
like that.
But then again, it could be like, he's the number 2 hero, so his training is probably going to be better than anything we can provide. So we're fine with letting him train his own son, because it's probably going to be even better.
Okay, but he just goes, just don't use your fire, whatever. Instead of going, let's try to find somebody that can regulate your heat so that you don't get burned. Because they have like fireproof clothing and stuff like that. But there's never an option of, hey, let's try to augment this so you can be a hero. It's just like, nah, don't.
Yeah, why doesn't Ida have like a thing that helps regulate the temperature of his legs?
Or Raka's mask is just like, hey, it helps with my motion sickness. So they do stuff like that. Mina's clothing just doesn't melt away with her acid. Todoroki's clothing doesn't just burn away. There are augmentations like that. So I can't imagine they're just like, yeah, go train your son in the woods with this dangerous fire ability that is actively burning him.
Scaling in a different manner from many other shonen anime. Instead of powering up by learning new abilities or changing forms, Deku and his friends increase their efficacy in battle by honing the abilities they already have, augmenting them with tools.
You can't say that!
One of the first things they do is, hey, we're gonna learn a super move. That's one of the courses in the school. Well, give me your super move.
I don't understand what he means.
And this isn't even going into the manga of, because this is way past him, of learning new forms and new powers with Deku right now. This is just going roughly around the same time period.
Finding new applications for them. Deku achieves his full cowl power-up not by undergoing some intense emotional struggle or unlocking some hidden potential he never knew about, but rather by changing how he thinks about One For All, seeing his power as energy that he can channel through his whole body rather than a force that he unleashes.
Hey, remember when Ida got real strong, when he got real mad at Stain and his powerlessness and him being a hero? Oh yeah, Stain did criticize Hero Society, so there was a criticism of Hero Society already.
Oh no. Oh no, whoops.
His entire character was about the criticizing of Hero Society.
Oh no, whoops. Oh no.
Yeah.
That did happen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the show isn't about it, like One Punch Man.
Hey, remember when Todoroki could start using his fire after his big emotional thing?
I do. I remember that.
Okay, just making sure.
I in fact remember that.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure that these things actually happen in the series and I'm not going crazy. Because Mother's Basement says it doesn't. Unlike other shonen.
From a specific part of it. Conversely, Bakugo, already an innovator in how he uses his explosions to fly, unlocks a new super move simply by reducing the area of his blast to increase the force behind them. This makes it feel particularly rewarding to see these characters grow by making every new move seem like a hard-earned reward for their efforts. It also...
Oh, hey, do you remember when Red Riot got an even stronger armor after he was almost crying and dead?
I was just about to say
Hey,
that.
do you remember these things happening in this series?
You piece of shit.
Are we just crazy here, or did these things happen?
It's not. It's just
What
simply,
are you talking about?
He's just saying it's rewarding to see him just big shock.
Hey,
not really.
Even more shock.
Even bigger shock. Huh?
What Sugar Rush doing?
He chilling.
You talking about and Deku and Bakugo and all them?
No, just those two.
Hey, remember when Momo lost her confidence and had to get it back and then became awesome again?
So much so that they were just like, you're leading this bit now.
Emotion!
How did Ayama
Hey,
learn?
do you remember how Deku beat Muscle?
How did he beat him? Did he just go bigger punch?
Yes,
The
after
biggest punch?
emotional
Why?
big punch.
Is that the same way that the All for One, One for All fight?
Absolutely, that is.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering. I'm just talking out
Emotional
loud.
big moment punch, man punch, big motion punch.
I'm just thinking out loud.
What are you talking about?
Interesting things going on here. It's very. I feel like I'm part of 1A.
They're like my family. Thanks for the money. Dummy.
Further encourages nerdy theory crafting about how each character's powers might evolve or be creatively applied in the future. And nerdy theory crafting is something a lot of weebs love. It's the bread and butter of many communities and creators that focus on shonen anime, and Hiroaka was wise to tap into that market. Now,
What
without
market?
going into spoilers, the manga has recently introduced some different, more conventional vectors for character progression that have the potential to undermine this dynamic somewhat, but those vectors do still follow the general logic of how quirks work, and so long as Hiroaka makes those changes rare and hard-earned and keeps tying them directly to major changes in the characters themselves,
He's talking
I'll be
about the
happy
Black
with the new
Whip.
status quo.
He's
I did
talking about all of
really
Deku's
enjoy that last
abilities.
big arc. But I do think that change is still worth noting and maybe warning you guys about, because at the end of the day, this is the kind of show that lives and dies on the strength of its action. Which is not to say that Hiroaka
Isn't that a problem?
It's a big problem. It's a really big problem. Because if
if
you're
it's
not
not-
doing action, you're not important. Mineta is not an action boy, so he's not important.
Ayama is not an action boy.
All Might is not an action man. He's just getting further and further pushed into the background.
Invisible Girl is not an action person. She's a stealth hero.
This is a problem. If you perceive it that way.
I do, because when it comes to show, like I said, action is so far down. Give me characters and plot. Because if the show presents a not very good action, like if the final fight of it, if there's a bunch of bad fights, I'm not gonna be. If all I care about is fight, I'm gonna call it a bad arc. I'm not gonna be invested. But what if the characters and the arc itself and the plot was so good, and I got like 6 bad fights? Well, the bad fight though, so I think it's so much easier to attach. It's easier to be entertained by fighting, but it's better to be attached to characters and plot and things
Yes,
like that.
why the fight is happening. What does this fight mean, as opposed to just the fight happening and it being cool?
Yeah, you said something like you would rather watch a 4-star match against 2 people you care about than a 5-star match of people you don't know. And I think that's the way to think about it, because I watch a lot of New Japan matches and they're really good, but I don't care about.
They're just a couple of dudes.
Yeah, I recognize the greatness that's going on in the ring, and I'm getting invested through that. But because I don't care about Naito or anybody, but you know, this is way back because I do care about these people now. But because I didn't care about these people, why should I give a? I don't give as much of a as something like Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. I care more about that because I know who these people are. I know what they can do, and I'm invested in their characters.
So now at this point, like Invisible Girl, if you're going, it lives and dies by the fight. You gotta build a way that it's just like, this fight is important, just like the Zenitsu fight at the very end. Just here important fight for Zenitsu, as opposed to just some demon bum. Oh, here's an important fight for Inosuke instead of some demon bum. And if you got a bullshit thing like that, it's not good.
the strength of its action. Which is not to say that Hiroaka is dumb or that it does nothing interesting with its setting and premise. That's just the kind of show it is. But that's
No, that's the way you perceive the
Yes,
show to
absolutely.
be. I think it's so much more interesting looking at the Hero Society and how it's perceived and whether it's good or bad. And if the villains are in the right, even though they're doing wrong things, then hey, All Might punch.
Big punch. Boy, if I cared about these characters and like their interactions, that whole let's visit each other's room thing would be 10 stars. But I half of these people, I'm just
I
like,
have no reason to
I
care
don't
about
care.
Sugar Rush before this.
I don't know this person. I don't care. Oh, I guess this person is just minimalistic and just has like a bed and a chair in their room. Okay, I guess. Oh, look, this character has a lot of cute stuff in their room. But if I cared about them, I'd be like, yeah, that has nothing to do with the fights. That is character stuff that you need in a show like this. Instead of just, oh, here comes the biggest pun. Because La Brava is not a fighter. But she's 10 stars!
Hey, Gentle, that fight is the best fight in the entire series. Why? Because of the emotion attached to it, as opposed to just big fight. Now, there was a lot of creative stuff going on, and a lot of cool shit going on.
Gentle was amazing before he ever showed his ability.
Point 1A, Gentle, the best.
Because he's a good character. Then you're like, okay, this is a good and innovative fight.
Hey, but you know what?
That's the way you need to go with this sort of thing.
People hate that.
Of course they do.
Because there's no plot progression and the fight wasn't big enough. It's
low
stakes.
Low stakes, and people have a problem with this. Gentle has a goal that is not big at all. He just wants some recognition. Deku has a goal to make this little girl smile.
So nothing can go wrong. Everything has to go correctly.
Gentle, he could move over to another day, but he's like, no, this is my moment. This is my time. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this. It's an impenetrable school. I'm going to penetrate it and be like, hey, it's me, Gentle. I penetrated the school. I am worth paying attention to. And Deku wants to stop that just to have a nice day with this girl. Nothing about destroying the world or changing society or anything.
Or stealing quirks from people.
No, just a small personal... No, I can't let you do this. The Brava has stakes in it. Gentle has stakes in it. All the combatants have stakes in this. It's small, it's intimate, it's great. They could have sat there and talked, and Gentle could have had the weakest power and just been punched once, and it still would have been 5 stars. Just because of everything around it. Not just because of the fight.
You give me 4 arcs of stuff like that, I would still love my hero.
But you don't have stuff like that.
You evolve into big action.
You have Shigaraki floating in the sky and just like, oh man, my lungs been pierced by his dumb spike stuff, but I'm still gonna zap around in the air and scream out my hero name and crap like that. I don't care.
But here's the thing. You can get invested in a person through fighting, because I love Mirako so much.
There we go.
My gosh, she's just like, hey, Dimension, yo. I'm missing a leg. I'm missing an arm.
Go
I don't
time.
care. I'm jumping.
time.
I'm stopping this. Hey, don't worry about me. Go stop them. Dimension,
but that's
motherfucker.
also character.
Yes.
It's fights, but if she wasn't such a rough and tumble, done character, it'd be boring. If she was like a Uraraka, just sort of like a passive, oh, I gotta do, but no, she's just like busting in and just kicking and just, 15 no moves, cool, go time.
My God,
She's amazing.
I love
She's
Mirako.
the best. One panel since she's got her arm ripped off and she's stitching that up, going back out there. That bastard.
I don't want that.
That bastard, Horikoshi, can make small who gives the characters where I'm just like, give me all of them. But then he makes Bakugo and just like, you want all of him. I'm like, no, I don't.
I want so much less of this, sir.
So much like, no, you want more. May I have anything of Invisible Girl? No, you may not.
You can have more Bakugo.
If Bakugo is what you want, I can make him invisible. Would you like that?
Oh, an invisible power would be interesting. I think I'm going to give that to Deku.
But you have an invisible Deku.
I don't see her.
But crap like that, it's insane. Because what was Minata's one good moment? It was in the heat of battle. That's all he's ever gotten.
2 good moments.
What's the other
He's
one?
got the villains, and he's got the getting the person when they were fighting Midnight.
Oh, I was actually just speaking about the Midnight thing. I forgot about the villains thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 good moments in
it was
battle. But then you got Gentle, who was great before he even put up a single dupe.
When he poured his tea the first time, I was like, my God, I love this man.
When you see La Brava lamenting about the big circles around her eyes, and then he paints that like, now we're a match?
We truly are perfect for each
That's
other.
all you need. Crap like that. Small, personal stuff. Boom. Done.
But people don't like it.
But Mineta in the moment was just like, oh man, me and Deku are the same. Why can't I be like that? And then he had a character change.
That's why I love the Ayama thing so much, where it's just like, Deku, our powers are not suited for battle. You know, I use mine too much, it really hurts my stomach. You break your bones. So I'm trying to be a friend to you because we're basically the same.
Yes.
I've just been trying to check up on you and make sure you're
That's
okay.
good stuff.
It's like half a chapter.
Yes.
But it's good stuff.
Yes. Tells you a lot about Ayama. Gives some nice interactions between two characters that you don't really get. Has some comedy. That's good stuff there. It doesn't have to be just fights.
But lives and dies by the fights. This is what this man thinks of the fight.
It literally does not. It's so reductive to just go, no, but fights though. Give me a great character and then show them doing anything.
Give me a great character and have them fight. That's what I want. I don't want a great fight. I want a great character fighting. Because you can have a 6-on-10 fight, but if you have two 10-on-10 characters, then it could bump it up to an 8.
The Nomu versus All Might thing, which doesn't have a stake for the Nomu, I'm just saying that breaks your little thing. But that was basically just big punching until, I need to go further beyond my limits. And show these people that I'm not playing. Show these people, he goes, I've told you, students, but now it's time to show you to go beyond plus ultra. That's what that's about. But the fight itself is basically nothing. It's big punches. He can absorb your stuff, so I'm just going to punch him until he can't absorb it and punch him away. The fight, it's nothing, but what's going on around the fight is what's important.
Ed, My Hero Academia does actually have more going on under the hood than you might think, thematically speaking.
No! No!
This remains the most inescapable thing.
Oh my
Revisiting.
goodness! Oh man!
Themes and thematic.
What? We already here? 12 minutes, huh? Took you that long? Kept you waiting, huh? Man, we can't be doing this almost all the time.
We do a lot.
When will it end?
We do a lot of theme stuff. We get a lot of people talking about the themes. It's almost hilarious.
I think, thematically speaking. Amid all of its big, cool superhero fights, the series explores the tension between a distinctly American brand of liberal individualism and the collectivist ideal that forms the core of Japanese culture. This tension is embodied in its core concept. In Hiroaka, the American-born individualist icon, the superhero, is put to work for the good of society through a very Japanese system of corporate and government bureaucracy, designed to both incentivize and regulate superpowered vigilantism.
That's been explored many times in American Western comics.
Yes, indeed. The Sokovia Accord, regulating superheroes, Civil War.
That's from that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
It's the Mutant Act.
I don't know, Negro. I'm not like these bums going, yeah, I'm a fountain of knowledge. That's what I know. Hey, am I wrong?
No.
All right.
It was just way more
prevalent with the mutant cat.
It was more like I can't think of the word. Not prevalent though. It was just way more defined, I guess. Where it was just like everybody register, blah blah blah. We're gonna send you there.
But the point is, it has been explored in America.
There was also a DC one. I can't remember what it was, but it was really bad. It was
the Batman Act.
No, it was Justice League something, because somebody had died and they were like, we need to be regulated or something. It was real bad.
Central.
Or am I thinking of Killing Villains? I remember Green Arrow was prevalent in that one. I can't think of it.
The series' central question, what does it mean to be a hero, aims to find an answer that will resolve this tension. Is a hero someone who fights for personal glory, inspiring others?
Are they criticizing heroes?
No, they're not. They're just
Oh,
asking.
okay.
They're just asking
I'm
some
just
questions.
asking a question.
I'm just asking questions here.
Is a hero someone who fights for personal glory, inspiring others with his greatness? Someone who serves the people to his own detriment? Or something in between? Of course, this isn't the only big shonen anime to run with such a concept. One Punch Man has its own take on the idea of a hierarchical superhero licensing program, presenting a world where competition for top spots in the hero rankings and the glory and financial benefits those spots provide takes precedent over saving people for a lot of heroes. And compared to One Punch Man, I do think there are some blind spots in My Hero Academia's exploration of these ideas. While it does acknowledge that individual heroes like Endeavor can potentially be bad people, for example, in 253 chapters and counting, it hasn't really touched on the possibility that such bad people might co-opt the power granted to them by the hero licensing system for their own ends. In this world, or at least within Japan's hero system, bureaucratic tyrants and self-interested faction leaders like One Punch Man's Sweet Mask and Fubuki don't really seem to exist. The system is represented as being mostly functional and resistant to high-level corruption, which can't really be said for any real-world.
Hey, there's only one possibility here. There's a traitor in our midst. How else would the villains get all this information of where we're sending the students and attack them? The only answer is there's a traitor in our midst.
With everything going on, that is going to be such a fart of a reveal. It's going to be so nothing. I don't care about anything he's saying here. It's just like, I mean, sure, whatever.
So, basically,
individualism.
but he's talking about it's the same thing. My Hero and One Punch Man are essentially the same thing, but One Punch Man explores like people trying to get their own gains from the big system and all that crap, whereas My Hero doesn't. But it's the same criticism of hero society. It's just not done as well in your estimation of what would be a well done way to do it. Mm-hmm. So, how can you say that My Hero does not criticize heroes not 10 minutes ago, but now going, yeah, it does almost the exact same things as One Punch Man, except a little different?
How indeed.
Corruption, which can't really be said for any real-world policing system, so in that respect, I would say the series comes off as a bit naive. But covering the same ground as One Punch Man comes off as a bit naive. But covering the same ground as One Punch Man would make Hero a little redundant, and to its credit, it does acknowledge that such systems can create problems even when they're functioning as intended. The perverse incentives that drive hero work end up motivating many pro-heroes to behave selfishly, chasing fame and fortune first and helping people second. This makes many young idealists feel disillusioned, some, like Stain, violently so. In the Vigilantes spin-off manga, we also see how it can leave lower-income areas underprotected, allowing villains and local crooks alike to act with impunity.
Wow, that sounds super interesting.
It most certainly does, but hey, that's not what we're talking about. Horikoshi ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'm gonna need to read Vigilantes.
It's all about the big punch.
And leaving local volunteers like the Crawler to pick up the slack. What's more, the restrictive nature of hero society plays a major role in making villains out of outcasts and weirdos like Twice, Spinner, Magni, and Toga, and the worship of heroes as these exceptional...
You're not explaining what you mean.
Did these people kill people?
Yes.
Is that why they're outcast? Or was it just like, hey, you kind of ugly. You kind of creepy like LaBrava. LaBrava's an outcast. She's a roughly good girl who people just think is really short and creepy. She's like 24. Yeah. But she looks like 15.
But Himiko, we've seen nothing to indicate that anybody tried to help her, that she seeked out help. There's nothing, even to this day. So you can't say that just like, they're just outcasts.
to make the world better so you don't have to is shown to make common people more complacent and less willing to go out of their way for others or the greater collective, which creates a lot of little cracks in society through which unfortunate people like Tomura Shigaraki can easily.
Hey, sounds like this is a criticism.
It most certainly is, and I wish he would have shown any sort of indication about the people being complacent. I guess he means like episode 1 where nobody does anything as Bakugo is getting absorbed. But what could they do?
I mean, Deku did something.
He didn't do anything. He just motivated All Might to do something.
Man, that's something.
Is it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, shoot that shot. No. Please. All right, I'm going to shoot it.
He pointed to somebody and go, he pointed to somebody and go, press the I win button. And then he went, oh crap, I should do that.
Yeah, I'm busy over here helping, so please press the button.
I'm just saying.
He did something.
He showed no examples of it. I can only assume that's what he's talking about, and that's a very poor example.
Nah.
Fall. A consistent theme among the series' Rogues Gallery is that society has failed most of them in one major way or another. And by framing their motivations through that lens, My Hero Academia manages to make the actions of its antagonists comprehensible without necessarily excusing them. Shigaraki wants to use his incredible power to break the world that broke him. Stain wants to use his to
At this point in the series, we did not know how the world had broken him. He had just said that it did, and we have no indication of it. Same thing with Dabi. Same thing with Himiko. These are just words that are being said by the villain, so they carry no weight. They say that the world has wronged them. In what way? We don't know until the My Villain arc. This is not good. Just having a character say, oh, the world sure does suck. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? Here I am.
According to his ideals. Neither is in the right, but we're shown enough to understand where they went wrong. Interestingly, the social order has failed many of the series' protagonists, too. Hero Society doesn't offer a lot of opportunities to quirkless kids like Deku. Ochiko's family has to endure economic...
What could it offer?
Hero Society, absolutely. But All Might said it.
If you want to help, be a firefighter or policeman. What could it offer? I guess you could be like a secretary at Endeavor's place, but that's not actively helping people. What does the Hero Society have for a quirkless person? Legitimately, something outside of augmentation that may not work, get crushed, and he's just screwed over. What we got?
Because technically, Hasume's quirk is just like seeing very far, but she's within the weapons or whatever it is. And I guess you could do that in Hero Society, because her quirk doesn't have anything to do with how good she is at creating tech. So if you want to help heroes create some tech that'll help a I guess that's what you can do.
But Hasume went into that without that being her quirk. Mm-hmm. So it's not like the Hero Society needs to put you in that direction.
No, definitely not.
You can choose that direction.
Definitely so.
Just to give their daughter a chance at success. Shoto's family suffered through years of abuse thanks to his father's single-minded pursuit of the #1 spot. Bakugo's ego and anger are both the product of a society that has told him over and over that his power makes him better than other people. Mineta is just allowed to be outside, unsupervised. What the fuck is up with that? And let's not forget the ultimate symbol of Hero Society himself, All Might, who's been used up, worn down from wannabe Superman to Flashpoint Superman by the world's existential need to perceive him as something more than human.
No! He got a bad beat against the villain once.
Yes. What? He's not going to explain what he's talking about. There's nobody in that moment that could have defeated All for One. It was just him. It's not like they were just like, oh my goodness, All Might, and then they just walked away.
Something more than he is, which has also left the world teetering on the brink of collapse, clinging to a single fraying lifeline because nobody can really be All Might. Not even All Might. But he tries anyway, right up until it damn near kills him. The U.S.
No, he has no choice because if he loses, everybody's dead.
It's nothing about expectations or anything. It's a duty. It's he can do it.
He can do it, or nobody does it.
Students do too, and that's the difference between them and the villains. Instead of lashing out or tearing things down because shit sucks for them, they do what they can with the advantages their unfair world has given them to make shit suck a bit less for everyone else. If enough people operated on that principle, as the next generation of heroes is clearly being raised to do, maybe their world wouldn't need to cling to a monolithic and fragile symbol like All Might anymore. But now I've gotten into theorizing.
They didn't know that he was monolithic, that he was fragile. This was the first instance that they did.
Once they learned, they were basically just like, well, we gotta accept it. Hey, All Might,
moving on.
Be careful, All Might. Step back some.
If he was just like, I can only be a hero, he can't even be like, I can only be a hero for 2 hours a day, because then villains would strategically be like, all right, something up across town for an hour, and then you do it for an hour, and then for the rest of the day we got no All Might time. But then we can also set up a
hero thing where it's just like, put more people over there, I'll protect this quadrant.
Just like, okay, everybody's connected to All Might's time limit. Now that we know that All Might only has 20 minutes left and there's a bunch of stuff going on, we start mobilizing because we know that All Might can't take care of this. You can't just be like, oh man, the hero, once they realize that, no, none of that happened.
The series could go from here when there is plenty of philosophical ground left to be explored in both the anime and the manga. And the point of this video is not to dive deep and fully analyze the underlying message of Hiroaka, but rather to highlight all of its strengths. And I think the fact that it's exploring the impact of social inequality and asking fundamental questions about the foundations of society, framed through a medium and a genre that general audiences and kids seem to like and understand, is a major point in its favor.
Pause.
You could almost say...
No.
Oh, okay.
And you can't say that at all.
Okay. Almost, though.
Almost. What injustice is... Twice is just crazy.
That's all he is. He's a nutso.
Himiko is just crazy. Now, you could say that they could get help.
But her twisted perception of what a friend is.
Yes, that has nothing to do with the heroes. That's our society where people don't get help. Stop acting like it's some sort of huge... Okay, we don't really know anything about the disappearing dude. We know that bird dude just like Stain. Shigaraki, what? He just got a destructive quirk and he killed his whole family and he went nuts. Another went nuts. Not a society is making me like this. What? Wasn't the flamey dude that teleports, wasn't he like brainwashed?
I think so.
That's not society.
Oh, yeah.
He was their friend and he wanted to be a hero. They thought him to be dead and then he got brainwashed. What villain is a product of the society? What villain is outside of Geno, who's just like, I want to be a hero so bad?
Shigaraki. Because remember, his past was he wanted to be a hero. Because even his aunt or mom or whatever was a hero. And it was like, your power is not gonna do it, and then he killed his dog.
But that's not society. That's the family.
But wouldn't it be through society that this shaped the family's mind? Because his power probably could be used for good.
Yeah, if he had gone to school and somebody like the principal, let's say, or something like that, that'd be something. But then at that point, we got to start talking about augmentations and crap like that. But anyway, sure, you can say that society did but I'd be like that too. I'm like, you destroying stuff. That ain't rocket.
but that's just the power that's just the perception. Just like the mind control dude. It's like that's a power suited for a villain. but I want to be a hero, so I'm gonna use it, do whatever I can to be a hero, while trying my best not to use this power for nefarious means.
Okay, so we got Shigaraki. According to you, I'm still, but that's not my fight. And we got Gentle.
I mean, I'm not fighting for it.
We got Himiko, who's just nuts.
I think might even be forgetting some of that.
We got Twice, who's just nuts. We got Birdu, who idolized Stain, which I guess you could say because Stain was about product of society. Whatever. But that's his own choice. Mm-hmm. He's an adult, presumably. We don't know anything about the teleporting dude at this point. I think up in the manga, his dad was like a hero or something. I don't remember.
I'll probably get it through Vigilantes when I read it.
Who cares? But yeah, what we're looking at like 2 people.
And stories, especially cool, fun, accessible stories, push their audiences to think more about important things. Of course, it is equally important for these stories to be cool and fun and not get bogged down in pontificating about those things. That's my job. A good anime gives people good reason to get invested in its underlying ideas. And one of the best ways to go about that is by getting us invested in characters who are affected by them. Deku's a pretty good one to start with. His polite, soft-spoken nature makes him a likable underdog. His nerdy hobby of researching and analyzing superpowers gives him at least one thing in common with your average shonen anime fan, and the emotional journey that he goes on as he learns to believe in himself is really powerful stuff. But he's far from the only great member of this cast. My Hero Academia doesn't have the deepest cast of characters in the world, but it does have one of the biggest and most varied.
Look, they ain't great, but there's a lot of them, alright?
There's so many ingredients.
That's, again!
Who cares how they are, how deep they are, how shallow they are? There's so many and they're so different.
Dude, that's nothing. Again, I don't care. I don't care if you got 50 nothings
that are all different.
Who gives
I would rather have 6 somethings than 12 nothings.
Legitimately. And we got Tentacle Man who's stinking up the joint. We got Kaminari who for all intents and purposes is nothing.
He's fairly stinking up the joint.
Again, we can easily chop 5 people out and nothing changes.
Have one of the biggest and most varied. The concept of quirks allows for an absurdly wide array of creative, wacky character designs, ranging from animal people in both furry and kimono mimi varieties to living comic book panels. There are 40 named, unique, distinctive characters just between the 2 first-year classes at UA.
Pause. 40 named, unique, and distinct characters.
Okay.
Like that ear guy.
Are they any good?
Are they interesting, or do they just have names?
They exist, and you know their names, and you know their quirks, and isn't that good enough? No, I don't think that's good enough. Well, I got nothing else for you.
They got a name and they got a distinct personality. Not even they got a design. And some of them got a personality and some of them just don't. Some of them are introduced right when we need them. We saw the girl who has hair with vines, but we never saw Mushroom Girl. She was just introduced in a big student fight.
There was we get a lot of that class 1B dude. It's just like, class 1A sucks, 1B is better, and we're going to prove it. We get a lot of him and a lot of his characterization when it's just like, you guys got to make makeup exams. There's 3 of you, but there's only 1 of us, and it's me. You guys suck. Class 1B wins again.
For 1B, we got him, we got Big Fist, and we got Tetsu. Who else is like...
And it's just a retread of Kaminari.
Yes.
I mean, not Kaminari, but Red Riot.
Almost his entire personality is that he is Red Riot and they don't like each other because they're basically the same.
And another 20 among the faculty and other students.
Snipe just got his powers explored 3 weeks ago. 13 did one thing. Cement toss?
Who are they?
Who's bumping Cementos? Come on! Don't just give me look. There are characters. They're not just shadowy individuals with no names or personalities or anything. These are people.
They definitely exist. Look at them.
Met so far. All of the hero agencies and rival schools we've been introduced to so far have also brought with them at least a handful of their own memorable characters, and let's not forget about the kids' parents. While most of these characters
whom we have seen once Bakugo's mom, in the anime we have never seen Invisible Girl, Animal Dude, Kamen. We've seen the hard hitters' parents. Don't act like it's anything different.
The hard hitters and Uraraka.
Don't act like it's just like, oh, it's just a slew of parents just parading around this motherfucker.
I don't think we even got Momos, and they went to their house.
Wouldn't it be interesting to see that either Mineta's parents hate the fact that he's a pervert, or his dad is just like a secret pervert, but it's just like, hey, don't do that around, don't do that, son, around his wife, and then just, when Mineta and him is just like, thumbs up, yeah, girls. Or even a mom like that, and the dad's all approved. Wouldn't that be interesting to see? Or I guess we're just not privy to that. Mineta was just spawned into the world for all we know. Yeah, we get Deku's mama. Guess what? That's the main character. We've seen Bakugo's mom exactly 1.5 times. Don't act like these are characters.
Hey, Uraraka. Hey, Dad. We're proud of you, Uraraka, no matter what you do, but I want you guys to have a good life. We'll have a good life if you're happy, and that's all we want.
And then they cease to exist.
And they are gone forever.
They cease to exist. They might as well have died in the big attack, for all that we know. Just quit.
On the surface level, they do all, at the very least, have clever, defining surface level gimmicks. Every recurring character has a clearly defined personality, and more than half of Class 1A...
Pause. As opposed to who? What anime does it? You're just saying that characters exist in a story. Look, they have a definable trait, and that's all. Oh my goodness, look at that big dude in Hello Pretty Kitty Cat Club. They're cute girls, and then there's a big dude. What is that? And that's it.
What's so great about My Hero Academia? You could probably copy and paste this video, 80% of it, and apply it to almost any anime you've ever seen.
Legit. Oh my, there's characters. The other class has a handful of characters. Dude, this is terrible. But you see how long he talked about animation and fights and crap, and he just goes, look, they got a definable trait, homie.
So they're characters.
Yeah, there's something. I mean, they're not nothing. You getting something. Is that cool? You getting something.
How could that not be good enough? Yeah. You want good? How about good enough?
How about something? And then we'll talk about good.
Personality, and more than half of Class 1A has undergone some kind of substantial character development.
Pause. Do you see a problem with what you just said? More than half have gone through some kind of substantial character development.
Okay. Let's break this down. How many are in there? 12, 15?
I believe it's...
Yeah, let's look through it. Because we got Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Uraraka, Ida, Red Riot, and that was all at this point for him, I think.
20. Goodness gracious.
Class 1A?
Class 1A. We got Aoyama, Mina, Asui, Ida, Uraraka, Ojiro, Kaminari, Kirishima, Animal Dude, Sugar Rush, Tentacle, Jiro, Sero. We have not talked about Sero once. I legitimately forgot he existed.
I forgot all about Sero.
I legit forgot he existed.
Oh my god, I forgot completely about Cyril. That's why when you said 20, I instantly started counting in my head.
Your first number was like, what is it, like 12?
I'm missing 8 people.
Tokoyami, Todoroki, Invisible Girl, Bakugo, Deku, Mineta, and Momo. That is 20 characters.
So you mean to tell me at least 11 people in that class have had substantive? You're probably looking at 8.
We got Bakugo. We got Momo. We got Deku.
Mm-hmm. Todoroki.
Todoroki. I'm just going through here.
Yeah.
Jiro.
I'll give you Jiro with the, I gotta be more out there.
Kirishima.
Mm-hmm. Uraraka. Ida. 8.
And we're done.
Jesus.
And we're done.
Did I not say 8?
The people who have not are Mineta, just for the sake of
Oh wait, no,
transparency.
substantive. Nope, that's not substantive.
Because he did not change whatsoever. We got Mineta, we got Invisible Girl, we got Sero, who we both legitimately forgot existed. We got Tentacle, Animal Dude, Sugar Rush, Kaminari, Ojiro, Asui, Mina, and Ayama. None of them have gotten substantial character development. He is under the mark of half.
Even if you want to go
Even if we stretch it.
I'm going to go any type of development for a character. That's an extra 2 characters. You're at exactly half.
And we're going any kind of development. But then we have characters who have gotten legitimately 0.
And more than half of Class 1A has undergone some kind of substantial character development, as have several characters outside of their
Substantial.
Name them, sir.
Nothing about Mineta changed.
No, name them, sir.
Substantial character development, no.
Because that is just an out-and-out lie.
20 motherfuckers.
You lied.
I was thinking like 20.
What? What did I say, 12?
You said 12.
How did I miss so hard?
class. This detailed character definition goes far beyond just writing and acting. The animation does just as much to convey what these heroes and the villains.
Dude.
You came back
You
to the
came
animation,
back.
my guy.
I'm going to talk about characters, but look how they animated. You already talked about how they move. That was the beginning of a sentence. Yo, these people move pretty fly. But you now you're going, look how these people move, though. You terrible. This is worthless.
There's a little bit of worth in there.
Man.
There's a little
And
bit
of course he shows a pretty thing.
I mean, he's not going to show an ugly thing.
Just as much to convey what these heroes and the villains they fight are all about through their body language.
Hey, what about instead you show with Night Eye kept stamping everything except Deku's form? Because that was way better.
Long as the series has gotten at this point, it certainly has had plenty of room for character development. But still, it's far from easy to create this many characters with instantly recognizable designs.
Oh my goodness. It ain't easy to make these many characters with instantly recognizable designs. Do we have to go through the list of things that do? And who cares about an instantly recognizable design? Anybody can just draw something and be like, yeah, that's this character.
They don't look like the character B don't look like A or C.
But what
Class.
else?
Are they a good character? Oh, but you know, you can recognize I don't give a
Sugar Rush got spiky hair and big lips.
Hey, what is Mind Control Dude's name? Cause I don't remember it. I don't even remember if he has a hero name. But my God, he's got purple hair and dark circles under his eyes.
Yeah.
My God, I
Instantly
recognize.
recognizable.
This is trash.
It's hard to do development, but he can make a character, alright?
Let alone write them without having their personalities blend together into an incoherent mess. And to do all that while simultaneously serving up a number of viable rivals and antagonistic foils for Deku and even a few of his classmates.
Viable rivals, my guy.
Dude,
Like every series does it.
you are saying this like everything just has a bunch.
So what makes a shonen not great?
Seriously,
Because everything you're saying is basically applicable to almost any shonen.
DBZ has a very recognizable cast of characters and villains that contrast and all this crap that you're saying. It wumps. What's a bad shonen to you if these are the things that you're praising? If I can just go look at all these characters and look at how they move. Aren't you clapping? Oh, look, action.
Right.
This is what you want. This is what you're praising.
Serving up a number of viable rivals and antagonistic foils for Deku and even a few of his classmates. Well, that's pretty damn impressive.
No, it's not. It's basic. It's to be expected. We're not clapping for him making characters and them doing stuff sometimes.
While there's also villains to go against.
Dude,
It's like the base of a story.
what if the America's #1 hero just came down and just took off Sniper Girl's head? Oh, look, he's got a design. He's going up against a villain. Is that good? No! Because he comes out of nowhere. We don't know what he can do. How did he get there? Any of this stuff.
Now, I would very much enjoy if different hero societies were at war with each other.
Absolutely.
Because the ideas that they present are not in line. The ideas that Japan present isn't in line with the ideas like India presents.
Sure, that'd be great. But My Hero is not interested in doing that. It's all about the all for one for all thing. And then you get a little bit of the society stuff, but that's really just a way to grow Deku.
And my God, do they hammer it into your head after that endeavors. Heroes suck!
It's
Oh my God, they suck!
You're expecting so little. You're praising so little. You're praising this basic stuff and just going, look, characters. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. It's admirable that they're characters. Sure. But do they have anything going on with them? I'm so pissed that we forgot that Tate Dude existed. I'm furious. I've never just wholesale forgot a character like that. I looked at him, I went, oh, this is a character.
Let us not forget, I said there were 12 people in the class. And I had already listed off 5, so I had 7 left in my mind. How is that possible? There are 20 mother in there.
And you just going, look, Cementos exists. What has President Mike ever done?
Hey, you know what would have been really good? If somebody like Sugar Rush or Ojiro or Mineta or one of the lower ones lost their spot to the mind control dude. And they
100%.
went, I'm going to work hard to get back to this position.
Yep.
And then they held another thing. See, this is the problem. My Hero Academia takes place over roughly 8 months. Like 8 months to like 14 months. How incredible is that? What if they actually went through their 4 years, 3-4 years, and we got a lot of fleshing out? Instead, we get an arc, and then it's like, and just like that, our semester had ended.
Yeah.
That's 6 months.
That's terrible.
The first year is over. When did that happen?